Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and we have 4 wines today. These are all a scattered kind of thing, different wines that people have sent to me that they've been wanting me to taste, either sent to me, either talked about on Twitter. Somebody talked about this Pinot. I'm very excited about this episode, and I think we should jump right into it. I like this new pace mod. You know, I'm not talking too much about the Crush It cruise, link it up. I'm not talking too much about Crush It the book, link it up. You know, I'm not talking about different things like that, like my October tasting in New York, link that up, or Cork, link that up. You know, I'm not doing that mod. We're just getting focused right into the wine, so let's get going. The Fleur 2007 Pinot Noir from Carneros. This comes from Carneros Creek Peeps. $13 US. FloorDeCalifornia.com if you want to check these guys out. Pinot, 13 bones. Somebody on Twitter, Matty S. Get in here, Matty. Sit out. What do you got here?
In honor of what week this is.
Oh my God! Somebody sent me Patriot baby stuff, which were clearly not. I want to burn. Matt, why would you even throw this to me? This is disgusting. Hey, beat up. I mean, we did beat the cat's ass, which is very exciting. Am I allowed to say that on my live TV, Matt? Misha would never wear that. She's too classy. Okay, Fleur, 2007 Pinot Noir, standard California Pinot Noir, 13 bones, good price point. Somebody on Twitter said, I love this wine, taste it. That's what I'm doing. Sniffy sniff, very light in color right off the bat. And aromatically challenged right off the beginning. I get a little, I mean just a hair of cherry on the nose. Let's give it a whirl. Just not much going on here at all. Very light, very like sour cherry flavors, again translating from the nose to the palate, but very thin. There's a little hint of spiciness, maybe like a black pepper, but nothing great. This wine does not excite me in any shape or form. Very thin, actually. Quite boring. I totally disagree with the enthusiasm from Twitter on this wine. I find it to be very light and almost, forgettable. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what I'm drinking right now. I'm going to score this wine, a 79 and give it a pretty major pass. I apologize, but it's just not my style. Very light and just forgettable Pinot Noir. Wow. Let's move on. Plonk. Red wine. Plonk.com. Great name from Paso Robles. This wine is 100% Syrah. It's $10 US. It doesn't even look like it's a vintage wine. It's not. Let's give it a rinse. Matt, how you doing?
Good.
Feeling good?
Feeling good.
Good. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Good nose. Right off the top, very vibrant. I get a little bacon on the back end. Very bright up front, kind of licorice meets strawberry flavors, and a little hint of subtle bacon on the back end. Let's give it a whirl. Not bad. Good tannins, well structured, very vibrant. I find this to be a very pleasant Wednesday night winner, meaning, there's a little too much oak for me, but for the masses, really reminds me quite a bit of Bogle Syrah, which I think is a great value. At 10 bones, this wine's coming across to me as an 87-point wine. I like it. I'm surprised by its depth and complexity and vibrance for a wine that I'm not sure. It's called P3W. I think this is not... This is like non-vintage, Mott. Could be a blend of multiple years. I don't see a vintage. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. And I've got to be honest with you, from a blended component, I'm quite surprised how nice this is. Taste this. I'm curious what you think. Very bright cherries. I get some strawberries. I do get like almost like a Hostess blueberry pie component when you open them. The Hostess pies, you get that just gooey kind of like deliciousness, but it's not over the top fake fruit. It's kind of nicely balanced. What do you think, Bot? Little oak monster for you? It's a little oaky, but I don't know. It's surprising. You might even have a more sensitive palate to oak than mine. I'm not really that bothered by it.
No, I'm not bothered by it.
Do you like this? Tell the truth.
I'm not a big fan of Syrahs. This is okay.
I think it's okay too. I'm going to stick with my 87-point score and tell people to check it out. Plonk. You know, just what people think is junk was not junk today. Much better than last wine. Move on. Interesting. Look me in the eye. This is like some scary portrait. Very cool though. 2007 Occasional Red. This is a blend of 70 Grenache and 30% Shiraz. It's 20 U.S. bones. A little rinse. Boys. 20 bones. Let's see what's going on here. This is a really amazing package from Kina Wine in Santa Ynez, California. One of the more interesting, nice packages we've seen on the show, Mott. You like it, huh?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty like badass. It's like very like, you know, like vampire-y. It's kind of like, you know, the whole Twilight movement, right? Let's go sniffy sniff. Huh, very fascinating nose. Very vibrant on the nose. Very dark. Dark fruit, blueberries, plums coming through. There's a little freshness as well here. It's a very interesting nose. I would be remiss to not mention that there's clearly some grainy, herbaceous components on the nose. I like it. Let's give it a whirl. What have we found here? 70% Grenache, 30% Shiraz. Hold on. Now this is bombastic, but I like it. It's over the top, but I like it. You know, it's probably like some of you looking at me. You're like, he's obnoxious and big and all that, but I like him. He's a good guy after all. That's what this wine kind of does for me. It's very big and jammy and dark chocolate. Very high cocoa count, dark chocolate type flavors, but very Zinfandel-like, right? Vibrant, little peppery kind of component. Black berries and blueberries, little mulberry even. Just dark berries coming through. Just gobby. What I mean by that is viscous. It's thick. It's like having big gum. I mean, just thick. I like this wine a lot. This is normally the kind of wine that I think is way too over the top. But there's a balance and a refinement on the back end that I think is sensational. Shiraz Grenache blend. This is mainly Grenache, 70%. I like this. I think this is like a 07 Chateauneuf de Pop with a little bit of a California love to it. Almost like an imaginary blend of like a Beaucastel Chateauneuf de Pop mixed in with like some brown Zinfandel. I really like this. It's a little fake, but again, my palate has been going a little more New World. Oh, Mott, not your style. You made a weird face. You didn't like it. Too bitter on the back end?
No, I didn't like the finish.
The tannins are beast.
It's not that it's bitter. It's just something else.
You're tough, Mott.
Sorry.
I like this jamminess. I'm going to score this wine 90 points. I like this wine a lot. I think this is very well made. I've never heard of this wine. It's by Lania, Lanai. And I like it. 90 pointed up. Wow. That caught me completely off guard. And finally, Banknote Wine Company, The Vault, 2006. Now, supposedly every label is different. It's a different dollar sign, Mott. It's unbelievable. It's supposed to have a bunch of different labels. Not maybe every bottle, but there's a bunch of variations. It's 62% Zin. It's, let's see here. I wrote it down. 25 Syrah and 13 Cabernet Sauvignon. BanknoteWines.com. $32 US. And let's see what's going on here. Shocked by the last wine. A couple years ago, I would have scored that lower, though. That's that big over-the-top fruit that I've started getting back to a little bit. Sniff it up. Dark nose, you know, comes across a little Cabernet-like, considering there's so much Zin here. Little oak, little black currant. Let's give it a whirl. Big California fruit, bitter tannins, way too young. Wow. This wine is awfully young. It's probably 3 to 4 years before you want to drink it. I wouldn't even consider decanting it right now. This is very dry and bitter tannins coming through at this point. But it shows potential. This is a little bit, reminiscent of so many of the big Zin, Cab, Syrah kind of blended wines from California. It's juicy, perfect with a steak. All those people that like Orange Swift, The Prisoner, and things of that nature. This is your style. I think at 32 bones, it's overpriced. I think I've tasted wines like this at 17 to 20. But it's not horrible. It's definitely a wine that people that like cake bread or Turley Zins are going to be appreciating because they're big and they're bold. But, there's only 600 or so cases made of this wine, so small production. But just for me, it really doesn't do it. A little oaky, a little too goppy, maybe back-to-back off the last wine could be hurting it. It's a little too much for me. A little too much makeup in this wine. I'm going to score it 87 points because it's a solid wine. I like it, but I don't like it much more than the Plonk, for example. And so that's a great example of why I don't get excited when I can buy this for 10 and that for 32. It's okay, and okay doesn't cut it at 32 bones. So the vault needs to be closed. Question of the day, Mott. What is your favorite all-time friend? You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.